Hello. So in this problem, Melanie is at the mall and she's buying a shirt and or a dress. And in economics, it's really important that it doesn't matter what we're buying, as long as you know that we are buying something. That's the basics of the economic constraint. We have limited resources and we need to use these resources to buy goods and services because they increase our utility. So I'm going to draw the basic supply and demand curve. So let's start off with our axes. So price is the y-axis and quantity is on the x-axis. Now, we have two curves that we need to consider. The first one is the supply curve. This is at what price am I willing to sell the good being considered. And so basically, I'm willing to sell less when it's cheaper, but sell more when it's more expensive. That's because if it costs more, I'm going to get more money out of it. On the other side, we have the demand curve. It's the opposite of the supply curve. I want to pay as little as possible for my goods. However, when the price goes down, more people are going to want to buy the good. Where these two curves meet is called equilibrium. So we have equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. So because of this, we now need to consider that in this problem, Melanie already agreed to pay $79.95 for the dress. So because she's agreed to pay that much, the market, we say, comes to equilibrium. So the equilibrium price in this problem is $79.95. However, there's a catch. We're told that this dress, unbeknownst to Melanie, is on sale 20%. So because of that, we're going to go down here, and this is the new price. So because Melanie was willing to pay $79.95, but she only ended up paying, she got 20% off, so that means she only ended up paying $63.96. What does that mean when we ask about consumer surplus? So consumer surplus is basically the economic gain that goes to the consumer. It's represented on this graph by the shaded space. It's the area below the equilibrium price and above the actual price. The opposite of that is going to be the producer surplus. So let's say instead there was an extra 5% tax that wasn't disclosed to the consumer until checkout, and the consumer still decides to buy the shirt or the good. Then this would be the producer surplus. The producer is getting more for the product than the market value. So how do we find the consumer surplus? We take the first price and subtract the second price. And when we've done that, we get the final answer. Consumer surplus is equal to the discount, $15.99. So make sure that you understand that consumer surplus is the difference between equilibrium price and actual price. And producer surplus is the difference between actual price and equilibrium price, but in the opposite direction. Consumer surplus is a benefit to the consumer. Producer surplus is a benefit to the producer of the good. In this case, the mall that Melanie is buying the product from.